Hi everybody, how are you guys doing? It's me, Brittany, with The Simple Life of Homeschooling, and I am really excited to make this little video here because it has been such a long year for me. There was something about this entire school year that it still hasn't even taken off. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have been on the hunt for curriculum like crazy and trying to find things that fit. And I finally just kind of gave it a rest and I said, you know what? I'm gonna just stop buying curriculum, see what's in my bookshelves, and just use what I can for the rest of this school year. Because I'm starting to get worried that I really am going to start getting behind with my kids. And I just want to use the rest of the time that I have to catch up and then discover what I'm doing next year. So I just want to talk to you guys about my journey and how all this fluctuation began. So first of all, I didn't even get started with the 2024-2025 school year until September, like late September. I was still doing research to make sure that I knew what I wanted. And even then I gave it 1 month, and this was my oldest 4th grade year and doing the good and the beautiful. He had been doing it since kindergarten, and this was the year that I saw so much frustration in him when it came down to doing his math. And I know that math was something that was always challenging for me, but I'm telling you, he was getting up earlier than I would wake up just to get it done for the day. And I kind of sat him down and I said, hey, this is the first year that he's doing independent work. I feel like maybe it was a little bit abrupt and I should have still sat with him a little bit and did some lessons with him. But I just asked him, like, what's going on? Are you not enjoying your math? I said, no, it's taking me. So in general, it was taking him between 45 minutes to an hour, which I don't find I don't find it that terrible. But if he is genuinely not understanding it, not enjoying it, and just really, really hating it, that was kind of what got me curious. And I just said, you know what? It's okay. We don't have to do this. Then began the hunt that has never ended. So after kind of doing some research, doing placement tests, I realized that he had a lot of gaps in his learning. And guys, that freaked me out, because if he had gaps with the good and the beautiful, and he had been doing it for almost 5 years, that made me really, really second guess myself doing it with my 2nd grader and my kindergartner. So I put a hold on all school and I said, you know what? Let's just kind of do an unschooling thing. Let's do unit studies here or there until I feel a little bit more comfortable with math. And I started buying different things. The first thing that I bought was Saxon Math. And it wasn't the nicer, newer one that is dedicated to homeschooling moms or parents. It was the outdated one. So it was very classroom textbook style, but I really wanted to try it out. And I gave it to my son, gave him a notebook to do his writings in, and he had no problem with it, actually. I was really shocked. I think I put a lot of my own reservations with it, and I told him, I don't think it's too boring, like it's very black and white. I was very used to the good and beautiful, and I put a lot of what I would have liked as a kid into his mind. And he said, well, I mean, yeah, it's boring, but isn't math supposed to be boring? You know, that's how he came with it, and I appreciated that. But because of my own reservations, I said, let's just stop and let's keep looking for other things. Oh my goodness. Then I started finding like all this Charlotte Mason, and I got the Charlotte Mason arithmetic book, and that's just mental math. And I said, you know what? We do that from time to time, but I don't feel like it was worth the $50, to be honest. It's a really expensive book. I think I am going to sell it, to be honest. So if you can let me know where's a good platform to sell safely, because I don't plan on using it. And I bought the 2nd grade and the 4th grade version. It's just, I don't feel like it's good enough practice. I mean, we'll do it from time to time where we're sitting down, but I don't think that it's a really, really good way to have solid like math skills. So I could be wrong about that, but I don't feel good about it being our primary source for math. What else did I get? Then I recently, last month, got Math with Confidence, and I realized, Brittany, it's May. I have not stuck with something for more than 30 lessons since getting started, which, yeah, it's been one of those years. So math with confidence I love it, I do, but it is way too dependent on me. And hello, hello. With 4 kids, 4 boys, for me to do math one-on-one, completely dependent on me, it is draining mentally. I started like really doing bad, like with my patience. All of a sudden, homeschooling has started becoming like really difficult for me to get through. And I even like wake up earlier just to research, and I stay up all night looking at what everybody else is doing. That comparison monster has really killed me this school year. So I said, you know what? I need to stop because my brain is gonna explode. And looking into it more, doing my research, I am sticking to Saxon math. I am so mad at myself, but I felt like it was a good journey that I needed to go on with research and finding what works and fits my kids. So I do feel like for my 2nd grader going on 3rd grade, my kindergartner going in 1st grade, I may or may not stick with the good and the beautiful for them. I may try to do something else. I'm not really sure if I should be sticking with the good and beautiful because of that little age gap. I have really been enjoying Evan Moore publisher, their books. I really have been using that a lot lately for language arts, and I might just do that for math. This year I also used Christian Light Education. I got like the first units. They were $5 each, which was great. So I did math and language arts just to try it out. I really loved it, but I didn't feel like it was really good for teaching new concepts. I feel like it was a good review. So because of that reason, I had no idea what to do. So I think for sure for my oldest, I am sticking with Saxon math, and we're gonna see how this goes. So let me know if you guys have any experience with Saxon math and how it's worked for you, how you guys are using it in your homeschool, and give me some encouragement. Please let me know that I'm not alone in this whole like researching to find what works for you curriculum. So that was just math, guys. But as I ventured on into the research of the YouTube gods, I discovered Charlotte Mason. I started really going into it, and I love the idea of it. But I think that in homeschooling, you have to find not only what works for your kids' learning styles, but what works for you as a mom and as the teacher and your teaching style. Charlotte Mason was not a good fit for me. Ambleside, I tried it and tried it again. I bought all their books practically for years 2, 3, and 4. And I did not enjoy the readings. I would have them listen to it on audiobooks. I would read it myself, and I would have to reread it because I just didn't understand some of this vocabulary and what it was talking about. And it was too much. And I said, you know what? I had bought I think it was a teacher's guide or instructor's guide. It was from the Well-Trained Mind. And it even stated that books that your children are reading should be enjoyable to them, and it should not be a chore. Ambleside and all the Charlotte Mason readings were literally a chore to them. And I honestly think that if Charlotte Mason was in our modern day, that she would even pick some of the amazing updated books over those ones, because I feel like that was much relevant to her when she was born. And I feel like that's why people, they go based off of those readings, because they were recommended by her personally. Like they have her personal like signature of approval. And it just wasn't a good fit for me. So this year for language arts, I am actually creating my own language arts little thing. I had been looking into Brave Writer, but there's something about it that just felt so obvious. Like I was looking more for maybe some study, like book studies. So we're doing the BFG right now, and I'm creating my own study guide based off of that. I've been using ChatGPT to help me, so it's been giving me some fun ideas. And yeah, so I'm planning on just sticking with that. I'll show you guys once I get the groove of it, how I'm making my own language arts program and how to make it work for you, hopefully, who is also a lot like me. And just the language arts programs that are out there, it's just, they're almost all the same. The Good and the Beautiful, I found it to be a lot of, like what they say, fluff, a lot of like little games thrown in there, word study, little vocabulary pop-ins, mostly geography and art study, which was nice here and there, but it's just, didn't feel important to me for them to have that. So I scrapped language arts from the Good and Beautiful. I looked into learning language arts through literature. That one looks really, really cool. But if you're familiar with Writing with Ease, it's almost identical to that. I own the Writing with Ease, the curriculum guide, in case you wanted to make your own curriculum. And that really is what helped me realize that I can make my own curriculum. So if you guys are interested in making your own curriculum, I would recommend not even buying that book, but going on YouTube and looking at the walkthroughs of Writing through Ease, and look at years 1 through 4. And you can see the layout of it. It really is just opening up a book, dissecting a sentence, and going through maybe every day a different thing. Like the first one is oral narration. The second day would be a copy work from the sentence. And as you're reading and picking the sentences, you can say, let's pay attention to the sentence. What does it start with? An uppercase letter, capital letter, and it ends with a punctuation. Maybe the next day you could go into nouns, circle the nouns in that sentence. Very similar to how fixed grammar is. So try different things, see what works for you, and you may just find that you can do it yourself. So long story short, guys, this has been a heck of a year for me. And I can't even say that, we're done with the school year. I really genuinely feel like we are barely beginning. So I am gonna go ahead and start playing around with the Saxon math for 4th grade, skipping lessons here or there, and just giving us breaks here or there when we need it, and then getting started with our next school year with our Saxon math for 5th grade. All right, guys, thank you so much for sticking around and hearing me out. I just feel like there's a lot of people right now who are going through what they're already planning on using next year. And I just feel like I'm barely beginning. I'm still barely beginning my last year. So I just felt like showing some support to other moms who are who also had a heck of a year, who had a very hard time getting started, because we're all going through something and nothing is perfect. And that's probably one of my favorite things about homeschooling, is that you get to go with the flow and just kind of take it day by day. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye, everybody.